Why is this tile like wood? Hold on.
What's up, y'all? It's Bree, and I am back with another video. Excuse the views, the best I could do, and I hope I'm still cute. Hey, y'all like that. Anyway, though, today is September the 24th, 2019, and it is a beautiful Tuesday. If you are new here, welcome. First of all, welcome to my beautiful platform. And if you are returning, thank you. Thank you for being a part of the family and my journey. If you could please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, to show me some love. I really appreciate it because I do the same for you. Anyway, we're gonna jump right into this story time. This is my experience working for Adult Swim. Adult Swim was my first TV gig, acting as an extra. I didn't have a lead role yet. Don't count me out. But yeah, this is about that story time. So here we go. My experience started with I entered into this competition. You know, the little talent scouts that be in the mall, like literally. And this one was at Lynn Haven. So I had received a contract with the agency ultimately. By the way, I never used it, so that was just a waste of money and time. Side note, if you want to get in the industry, it's not necessary for you to have an agent or a company backing you. You can be independent. They put that in your head to make you feel like they're gonna boost your opportunities. You are responsible for your opportunities. And another thing, if you have agents or companies backing you, you have to pay them. Yeah. So, for example, this company that I had got a contract with, they didn't help me book anything. I booked everything myself. So I did not pay them. And I never notified them of the gigs that I got. So with that being said, Adult Swim was my first gig. The only thing they did help with was they gave you links or information about gigs, so that was the only thing they helped me with. But later on I found out I could have did all that myself, because there are like multiple websites that you can go on to find gigs and book yourself. So from that point on, that's what I did. So about a week into me getting the contract, I looked up some gigs and I booked that one, and they emailed me back and told me that they wanted me as an extra on the scene. So I went to Atlanta. Literally, like, this just all happened like kind of overnight. I'm not even lying to y'all, and thank God, I was able to do it. So I went to Atlanta, and the next day was the shoot. So I had about I think a 9 p.m. set call. They told me I had to be there by 9 a.m. Did I say 9 p.m.? Whatever. 9 a.m. set call. So I made my way to set, and this was all new to me. I had no clue what the heck I was doing, where I was going. I was in Atlanta. I've never been to Atlanta before. This is my first time. Or am I lying? I don't know. But anyway, that's another time. But so I went to Atlanta, and we got to the set. The set was at a bar. It was a bar scene that I was in. The show is an Adult Swim show. The name of it is Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell. Some of you may have heard of it, some of you may have not. I myself have never seen the episode of me. I never saw this episode. I'm sure it aired. We're in 2019. I did this gig in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. So until this day, I've never seen the episode. I'm very curious about it, and if I can find it, I will be happy. But it was a bar scene, and I was a bar patron. So there was, they needed patrons, they needed waitresses, they needed multiple characters or whatever. So I was a patron. My experience with this, when you're on set, it's a lot of wait time. It's not like they call you and you right on camera. No, you'll be on set for hours, like hours at a time. I believe this set, we were on set for like 9 to 10, maybe. I would say 9 to 12 hours max, I would say. So first you go in, they check your wardrobe. They either tell you to bring what you have to fit your character. They give you the description of everything in the email when you get booked. So mine was a bar patron, so I had to look older, so to speak. I have a baby face, so therefore I had to put on makeup and present myself as I think I had to portray like a 26-year-old to 29-year-old female. So I had to do all of that. So you bring multiple choices of outfits, and they tell you what they want you to wear, what they don't want you to wear, and they even of course have their own wardrobe in case yours is not up to par. So luckily I got to wear my own clothes that I already had. So after wardrobe check, they feed you and everything. So we're there, we get breakfast, we eat breakfast, and then you have to get called to set. Set is normally a distance from wardrobe fitting or whatever, unless the space accommodates everything. So what we had to do, wardrobe, all the other actors trailers was at one site, and the shot was at another site at the actual bar. So what we did, we left wardrobe site, and we got a van to the actual shoot. So at the shoot, this is where most of the waiting happens, because just think about all the main actors, they're doing their scenes, you have cuts, you have edits, the director is coming up with stuff basically at the top of his head. A lot of the scenes, because it's comedy, were what's the word I'm looking for? What is the word I'm looking for? It'll come to me. But most of it was a script, but most of it wasn't scripted. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, it was a lot of cut. No, do that over. No. Oh, say this instead of that. That's funnier. And one thing I can say, this set was so humorous and fun, y'all, to be around. I was grateful for the opportunity because I myself was one of 3 of the only blacks on scene. We're gonna get to that at the end of the story. But so during this time, on the way to set, I met another black girl. Her name is Jackie. Shout out to Jackie. I love you, baby. If you see this, no, I love you. But so we linked up, and of course we talking like we sisters. And coincidentally, she's from Hampton. I'm from Norfolk. If you know, you know. So she's from the 7-5, just as I am. So we get to set, and a lot of things change, like I said. So we're sitting there for hours. Like I say, we were there sitting for about 3 hours before we got called to set to actually be on scene shooting the portion of the show. Jackie played the waitress in the scene, and like I said, I was a bar patron. So when we got called to set, and it's not likely that you will always be chosen to be in the scene. So thank God we were chosen, because there were a lot of other picks. So they come back, they make decisions, they're talking amongst themselves, and this is, when I say they, I'm talking about the producers. They come back, and they're just having side conversations, and they're like, okay, you and you, okay, come on, it's time to shoot. So they're referring to me and Jackie. So Jackie and I go to set, and we're like, oh girl, this it. Like, we about to shine, honey. So before that, there was one of the main actors. His name is Carl. He's a black guy as well. He gave us so much insight from brother to sister. It was beautiful. Shout out to him. You know, we exchanged social medias. We're friends on social media, and you know, from that point on. So yeah, we have pictures and everything. Maybe some of you have seen it on Facebook, some of you have not. I might insert the pictures at the end of this video. But anyway, we get called to set and we're starting to shoot the scene. So I sit at the bar, and I'm just pretending to talk, you know, mouthing. You're silently talking, you're acting, like all the mics are on, everything is on, camera's rolling, everything is recording. So you have to be mindful of that too. Me having no experience acting per se, I've always been in the entertainment, I guess, industry. I grew up as a dancer, so I'm used to performing. So acting was something new, but it wasn't new, you know. But so we're sitting there. It's so weird because it's like you have set props, you have prop food, you have prop drinks, you have prop, everything is props. Nothing is real basically on a set of movies or TV or whatever. So we had to pretend like we were at the bar drinking and talking, and you know. So my companion at the bar was a Mexican guy. He was cool. He made me laugh the whole time. So that made it pretty easy on set for me, you know, to pretend that I was talking to somebody and having a lighthearted conversation. So that was my first scene that we shot. The second scene, they wanted to do the scene over to get like a different view of how it would go. So I was at the bar that scene. The second scene, we were at a high top table talking. I don't know if they used that, but I had the exposure I got on this episode, I feel, is really well, because the bar, first of all, was like this big, like so little. And then secondly, the actors were always near me, like either in front of me, behind me, beside me. They were surrounding me. So it's like for them to shoot them, I had to be included in the scene as well. So after that, there was a group scene at a table. I had to pretend like we were on a double date. So we sat at the table pretending to talk, and it was so weird because like when you're acting, you're literally like faking the hell out of stuff. So like I said, the props, we had wine at the table, and we were pretending to order food, and Jackie was our waitress. So Jackie was in the scene as well. She walked up, pretended to take our orders, and you know, and they kept, this part was crazy because they kept cutting and kept cutting, not because of any of the extras, but because of the main actors. You know, they wanted, it's called ad-libbing. So the director wanted the actors to basically ad-lib a lot of the scene. So they kept cutting, like, no, do that over, I don't like the way that sound, that wasn't that funny, that wasn't, you know, you weren't into it, or your voice wasn't projected, or whatever the case may be. Or there was, I hate to speak bad, but there was one lady who, it's not funny right now. There was one lady to where her makeup wasn't up to par. It didn't match the contrast of the lighting of the camera. So we had to do that scene over multiple times because of her as well, and ultimately they had to just replace her with another actress. It happens. Don't take it to heart. It is what it is. It happens all the time. So that was a lot of the situation too. So we were shooting that scene for a long time, y'all. And after that, it was almost time to wrap. We got to scene about, not like I said, 9 a.m. was set call. So we got to scene, to set. We shot the scene. So after we shot our scene, we had to sit and wait basically till everybody, the whole scene was over, because they don't know if they need us again. So we have to stay around. So we had to stay around on set the whole time until wrap. And you know, you hear, it's so cliche, but they actually say it's a wrap. Thank you, everybody. Whole set claps, whatever, embrace each other, whatever. Good job, everybody. You know what I'm saying? It was a wrap. So we're getting back on the van. Me and Jackie and I were the last two on set. Everybody else had done their scenes. They were good to go. They kept us. So we were the last two on set. When they yelled wrap, we got onto the van, and she asked, when is this episode gonna drop? So they're like a few months, you know what I'm saying? They let us know the possible release date. They weren't sure, and then they also assured us that there's no guarantee that this scene will be included in the episode. So we were like, okay, cool, you know what I'm saying? So me and Jackie were talking on the way back to set, back to wardrobe trailer, and when we got out, what touched me the most and what kept me going to get more gigs was the producer. He was like, when we walked past him, he he was telling a fellow producer, he was like, I fought so hard for those two girls. And like I mentioned earlier, we were the only two black girls, black people on scene, period. Aside from one of the main actors, a black male. So she was like, Bree, did you hear that? And I was like, what? No. And she was like, he just said that he fought so hard for us to get in the scene or on this show, period. A lot of networks, a lot of channels don't have enough diversity. So without us, it would have been a lot of other cultures. It would have been no diversity in the scene. So I'm very thankful for that part. So that took place, and it was beautiful. You know, the experience was something I would never trade anything for. It was a lot of learning. It was a lot of exposure to the industry. It was, you know, of course the experience was the bomb. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very thankful for it. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. This was my first big thing that I've done, you know, with a major company, so to speak. I don't know. Network, a major network. So the experience was amazing, and I can't wait to jump back in. But if there's anything I forgot, I might add it in this video. But as for that, that was, you know, basically the gist of my experience working with Adult Swim and being an extra on set on the TV show Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell. By the way, I had no clue what the heck Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell was before I did this show. So yeah, that was my experience with Adult Swim, my experience with being an extra, my first experience, my birthing experience into the acting industry. I'm pretty sure there's more to come because I want to make it happen. And so can you if you are interested in it. So look into it. Don't give up on yourself. Don't think it's too much or too little, or you don't have enough skill. Try it and see if you like it or not. And on that note, I am out of here. I love y'all. Y'all be great and continue to thrive and work in your destiny and do your dream work. Prayer is power. Self-love is real love, and it comes first of all. Don't ever try to love anything or anyone else without loving yourself first. And I love y'all. I'm out of here.